Hey guys, so we're back on EDC, and I wanted to go ahead and talk about the Victorinox Onyx 55 Ranger Grip. So I recently bought this, and I think this knife is pretty cool. And I'll kind of talk about why I decided to get this and to go from there. So before I go on further, I want to let you guys know I don't really use knives that often. It is more just, I just collect knives because I just think they look really cool. They're kind of like, I just think they look cool. Just want to let you know because I know you're going to be, whoa, look at that. He never uses his knives. Yes, I don't. Okay, I just collect them. But here is the Victorinox Onyx 55. And there are two main reasons I wanted to get this knife. The first is I actually think this is one of the better looking Victorinox knives that are out there. I mean, this knife, it's all in black. It is just sick looking. I mean, I just think in terms of design, it is like just a step above any other Victorinox I've seen. And second of all, as you can see, this is a much larger knife compared to other Victorinox models. So this is the Pioneer X, which by the way is no slouch. This is a big knife, but this ain't the Bantam. It just looks that way. It's just that it dwarfs in size by comparison. It is a much larger knife. And as you can see here, it actually is comparable to the Morniv in terms of size. So in terms of, and I'll explain to you why that's important to me. But this is, as you can see, very comparable in size to the Morniv, and this is widely well known as an excellent camping knife. And I like that this kind of has that same kind of feel to it, but it's just more compact because obviously, and this is a locking blade. You click on that and it unlocks, and look how much less space you're dealing with. Because my only issue with with the Morniv is that it's quite bulky between this and then on top of that, you're putting the case on top, like inside of it. You're talking about this much space as opposed to this much space. Now, obviously, that's not really a fair comparison because knife-wise and blade-wise, technically, this is a better camping knife. But, a lot of videos, or actually, no, there are not a lot of videos on this topic, but people do talk about the Ranger Grip 55 or Ranger Grips, and they're really well known as really great camping knives. So, but that's the first reason. The second of all, the saw ain't no joke on this. It is like massive, especially for a portable setup. You know what I mean? Like, because this is obviously, like, compare that to that. This is much more substantial. So this is not a knife that I would be carrying around, but I think this solved a problem for me. You know what I mean? So I found it kind of solves a problem for me in that it's a better saw than this. It's in many ways a better knife than this. And it is much more compact than this, which basically takes up this much space. All right, let's go over the measurements really quickly here. So it is quite large in terms of measurements. So in terms of measurements, the blade is sitting at around 4 inches. The handle is about 5 inches. In terms of weight, we are sitting at around about 5.91 ounces. So it's no joke. This is definitely more of a camping knife setup. But also in terms of it's got the corkscrew, which I don't really use, and the saw. Those are the two main things I cared about. These other things here, I don't really care much about these things, but obviously, you've got the can opener, you've got the pry bar, flat screwdriver, and you got the wire stripper here. And then on this side, you've got kind of the same thing here. I think it would have been great if these were scissors instead, but still, it's just perfectly fine. But the main selling point for me, again, was just that large size, very comparable to the Morniv. And people who have reviewed this knife, there are many camping videos. So apparently, it's a great camping knife.